Welcome to the Soon Podcast.
Hello, welcome back to the Soon Podcast. I'm Alyssa.
And I'm Amanda Lynn, and we are two sisters with two very different careers coming together to dish on all things health, wellness, style, beauty, and a little bit of gossip and everything in between.
Today we are podcasting from afar yet again, but I am in San Francisco and I'm sick. I don't know if you can hear me.
You don't look it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I just bought this sweater because I brought all my San Diego things here and then I forgot that San Francisco is totally different climate and I'm frozen.
Yeah, it's freezing. And speaking of travel, I just got back last night from my last bachelorette trip of the year. We went to Rosemary Beach in Florida, which is like right on the Gulf. And it was so fun, so cute. I absolutely loved it there. But if you can't tell, if you can see me on this recording, I feel and look like I got hit by a truck. I don't even know why. Like, I wasn't even that crazy. I think it was just like we were in the sun every day, drinking a lot. It was
That'll
a
do
really
it.
long travel day for me yesterday. Like, she is feeling it. I need like a detox.
And we're podcasting at night, which we don't normally do, but
Yeah.
Amanda had to work. I had to travel and like do all the things today. We went to Sausalito. We went to Pier 39, very touristy. I forced Paul into a photo booth with me and he hated it the whole time. And then we went to a lovely dinner.
My light just died.
Who needs it? I like your nails.
Okay. Well, we're just going to do it with bad lighting. So I apologize to all of the viewers. This is the lighting of the night. Honestly, it might be better than what I had. I don't know.
It might
I don't care.
be. I'm not sure.
Here are my nails. For those who can't see, they're pink with little red situations on them. And if you live in Arizona, Gelish Nails in Gilbert, Queens. They're the best nail salon.
Well, anyways, Gelish Nails for the win.
There you go. There's your hack of the day. But
Tell me more about The Bachelorette.
Oh my gosh, it was so fun. It was for one of my best friends. So the bachelorette that I had earlier this year was for one of my friends that I met at Nordstrom. And this was for my other friend that I met at Nordstrom. So the three of us, they were in my wedding. I'm getting to be in both of their weddings this year. And it was just so fun. I absolutely.
And you guys met like 10 years ago.
We met like 10 years ago. Yeah, because it was when I was working at Nordstrom. So it's really crazy that we've stayed friends and stayed this close for so long, especially because we live in different states. So we never get to see each other. And it was really sweet because I was rooming with one of them. And in like the third girl that was rooming with us, we had never met before. And she was like, wait, so do you guys live in the same state? And we were like, no, we never see each other. And she was like, wow, you guys are like so fun together. It's like your best friends. I was like, I know.
Oh my gosh, you guys will need to do a yearly trip.
Yeah, we said that. I actually told them that we should come stay at your house and get to see you and like stay in the basement.
Okay, one thing that is really cute for you guys, but I can't stand, is that you guys call each other the pups.
We do. So we call each other the pups. One of the girls, so it's Kennedy and Emma. If you haven't seen them, they're on my Instagram. I love them to death. We've been friends for ages. And Kennedy started this forever ago. She calls all of her friends pups. It actually started with her fiance. He like called her that. And
Oh my God, that's cute.
I know. I just found that out. And so we've always called each other the pups. Like we're like the pups, like ear scratches. I don't know. It's so silly. Yes. It's so silly. It's so funny. And we sent a text, Kennedy did too, because we didn't really know a lot of other girls in this bridal party. And there was 13 of us. And Kennedy and I flew on a flight together and there were two dogs in front of us. And so she sent a picture to the group chat and was like, pups on the way. And the girls had no idea because they like don't know us. And so when we landed, they were like, oh, I thought you were bringing your dog.
Oh my gosh.
No, but it was so fun. I actually have a funny story. So, well, it's actually not funny. Like I
What the fuck?
I would have been traumatized if this happened to me, but she was a trooper. So we were in Florida, and I've never like spent a ton of time in Florida, but I feel like, and if you're from Florida, don't yell at me, but I feel like the critter life down there is almost like it's neck and neck with Australia. Like I feel like they get some stuff. And we went to this wonderful dinner. We were all sitting outside. So we went to this wonderful dinner. We all got dressed up. We learned how to do our makeup. We were like having the best time, and we're sitting outside. And we're like under this canopy. There's like trees, beautiful. And one of the girls, she's sitting there, and she flicks something off of her lap, and she's like, oh, like something just fell in my lap. Flicks it. We're all like, okay, creepy. And then the girl who was sitting next to her was like, something is on my foot. And we're like, no. So everyone obviously jumps up. We look down. It was a snake. A snake fell on her lap. And then it slithered across the other girl's foot. Like, excuse me? So the snake is on the ground. We're all obviously screaming. There's a server, and we're like, can you get the snake? And he was like, oh no, I don't do snakes, ladies. So this dad, he literally comes over to our table, picks it up, chucks it.
Oh.
And I was like, I feel like that is the most Florida situation I've ever encountered in my life.
That is not okay.
I would have died.
I'm having nightmares thinking about. Actually, I think I literally had a snake nightmare the other night after you told me that story.
Yeah, because it was real life. And you know what she did? You know what I would have done? I would have said, good night. Give me the check. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get indoors. I'm done. She was such a trooper. She literally was just like, snake on the lap.
Snake on the lap. That's so
Holy
upsetting.
Shit. Yeah, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it there. I can't wait. There was one.
I know Amanda was like, I really want the family to come here. Then she tells us that story. Then she tells us what was in the hammerhead sharks are in the water.
Oh yeah, that's like the area where all the shark attacks happen. And our Uber driver was like, oh yeah, there's hammerheads everywhere here. And she's like, but don't worry, just don't get too far out there. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like,
and
I'm
then
good.
Another situation of just, girls being girls. So we go out to the beach. We're having a beach day. Everyone's loving life. I see 2 flags. One is purple, one is yellow. And I'm like, oh, what do the purple and the yellow flags mean? Because like we've been in the water when it's like red flag, it's scary. Like you're not supposed to go in. You're supposed to know your flags. So one of the girls is like, oh, it's for Auburn, like the school.
No.
Because everyone there is like a big Auburn fan.
Not that big.
What?
Not to the point where they're going to change the legal flag states.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, duh. Okay. I don't even know their colors. So I was like, oh, cute. I Google it later. No, it means scary animals and hazardous waves. And what did I do? I was in there playing mermaids. I was jumping around, swimming. I was on my back. I just like, I can't.
Was it hazardous waves?
It was apparently like rip current waves. Yeah. Yeah. So, get to know your flags, get to know your snakes. If you're going to go out there, just be prepared for anything. Okay?
Oh my God.
But I loved it. It was so cute. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, I want to go. It sounds really, I'm not sure anymore.
No, it was wonderful. Like, I was like, I can't wait to take my family here. And then I'm telling them these stories and they're like, do you hate us? I was like, no, it was beautiful. But
Lord. Well, I'm glad you went. And
I also learned how to twerk.
was that like a late night bachelorette thing?
Learning how to twerk? No, it was like midday.
Oh, well, I did that once. We did like a learn to twerk at a late night
No,
bachelorette.
one of the girls there, she's so cute. She apparently like won a twerk contest one time because she was like a dancer. And so she was
Damn.
teaching us all how to twerk. And they said I did it. So
Was it all in the legs?
it's like you just let loose. You like do it and you just move around.
I think it's all in the legs.
Yeah, it probably is. They were probably just being nice and I didn't know how to do it.
Oh my God. Well, that's really cute. I'm glad you had a fun time.
Me too. I'm just happy to be here, happy to be home. It was sad because I came home and my husband's on a work trip, so we missed each other's paths. And then today, lucky for me, I was out at work and my mom was home watching the dogs. And what
I heard
happened?
about this.
My giant schnauzer, she had projectile poop.
Issues.
Yep. I didn't believe mom. Like I believed her. Like I was like, oh, I'm sure it was disgusting. That's terrible. And then I come home and my mom was like, oh my God, I missed a spot. I look over my cabinets.
No.
I was like, oh my God. My God, you were not joking. It is literally everywhere in my house. So she did a deep clean. My mom is a queen, and thank God for her. Because could you imagine if my mom wasn't home with her and I came back from my full work day, like exhausted after my trip, to my house being covered in poop?
This is number 12 reason why I cannot have a big dog. Like,
I know.
if Vanilla did that, it would be like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, and when Martini does it because she's huge, it's like, my God. So that's what I'm dealing with right now. But you know, what are you gonna do? That's quite enough about me, sis. What's
Girl
going on
needs
with you?
some fiber.
I know.
You know, things are going. So I guess today we're going to talk about my fertility journey because we kind of haven't given an update and I just haven't really talked about everything that we've done and what I recommend for people. And honestly, we thought we would be pregnant by now. We thought we would be pregnant like months ago. And so it's been a tough journey, like tougher than we really thought. Especially because number one, I'm a health coach. Number two, I was like preconception queen. So we were prepared months before we even started trying. And number three, I feel like we did everything right. You know, like we took our time getting to know each other. Then we got engaged. Then we like took a year to get married. Then we were married for a year. And then we were like, okay, now we're finally ready to start trying. And so it felt like it should just fall into place. And so it's been hard having it not.
Yeah, no, I couldn't imagine. And you know, it breaks my heart every month when you guys are still not pregnant. So I think that, well, we're obviously all rooting for you and trying our best to support you and not be too in your business. But
I know.
I really do think that this is something that a lot of women deal with, and I don't think that it's widely enough talked about. In fact, I think that women are afraid to talk about it because they think something is wrong with them or they don't want to admit it or anything like that. So I think that I would love to hear more about your story and your journey, and I think that our listeners would too. And I'm sure that this is going to help a lot of girls out there who are probably going through similar situations.
This is going to be rough, guys. Like, I'm already crying.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned a time or two that we're quite an emotional family.
Yes, we really are. And to be fair, I'm on my period, so it's a double whammy.
Yeah. Okay. So, Alyssa, to start us off, why don't you tell us a little bit about your preconception journey and what that's looked like, and just a little bit more information of everything that you're going through right now?
Yeah, so first of all, we did a whole episode on this, but starting, a prenatal vitamin 3 to 6 months before trying to conceive, getting your man on things like CoQ10 or antioxidants like NAC. There's a brand called Needed that's really good. They have egg support for women and sperm support supplements for men, so it just makes it all super easy. So we did that, 3 to 6 months before trying to conceive, cutting down on alcohol, stopping other things, marijuana and whatnot. Then I did try to go get my labs ran, like my thyroid labs, because I have hypothyroidism. And then I think after like 3 to 6 months of trying, I just went and got basic hormone panels. I just told my doctor, like, I'm trying to conceive and I want to make sure everything's like optimal. One thing I will say about those is that my doctor was a woman and she didn't tell me what day in my cycle to get my hormones ran. She looked at my hormones and she said they were normal, even though she had no idea what day of a cycle I ran them on. And those things do matter. And so that's like kind of crazy to me. So when you do get your hormone panel ran, you can look up on ChatGPT or get a functional health doctor and just ask, what day should I have estrogen, progesterone, all of those things ran? And usually it's like day 3 or day 7 or day 21. Like they're all different. And then you'll also want to look up what are the optimal levels of these for a woman of your age, like pre-menopause is what I would put. Because nowadays, like, the reference ranges are not optimal levels at all. So, just FYI on that. And a lot of women have really high estrogen or really low progesterone, and those are like really important when it comes to trying to conceive.
Okay.
But so I had those ran, and everything's looking good. It's looking pretty normal. And so we just continue like trying and I have my menses like down to a T. I'm very regular and I would use some LH strips. I got an Aura ring, so you can use LH strips to tell when you're going to ovulate, but those don't actually tell you if you ovulated. The only way you can really tell is with your basal body temperature, and so that's why things like the Aura ring or taking your temperature every morning can be really helpful because it will rise after you've ovulated. So I had no issues with those things. Then I started doing some more digging. I started adding a supplement called inositol into my regimen for egg support and ovulation support and blood sugar support. We upped our fish oil supplements, so extra antioxidants. And then we started eating at home a lot more. We started incorporating more fish into our diet. And then I think after 6 months, we told our doctor that we had been trying for about a year, so we lied. But in order to get them to run a sperm analysis, we thought that they would take us more seriously if we told them that. It had been a year, and so Paul had that ran. Everything was looking good, I'd say. And that's when I like started acupuncture. So it's just like so much. Every single person and every single thing online says to like start implementing these things. And looking back, it's just so much to do and so much to think about.
Even when you say it out loud, it's a lot.
Yes. Yeah. And so I started acupuncture, and that is so expensive. So I started going to a school because originally this amazing acupuncture place that I went to for fertility, they were like, it's $200 a session. We want you to come in 4 times a week for 6 weeks. That's thousands of dollars. And that was just insane to me. So I went to like this acupuncture school, got it discounted, and that was just
Alyssa
not.
is a thrifter to a T, okay?
Yes. I mean, supplements are expensive. Acupuncture was like insane.
No, that is a lot. So I just want to know, like, how long have you been doing all of those things, like the acupuncture and everything else? And do you feel like they're helping or hurting? Like, do you think adding all of this now that you're a little stressed out and you've been trying so long is making it maybe a little bit more because it's just so much that you're focused on now?
Yes, so then there was more. Then I got a better, what is it? It's like there's LH strips and then you can get a like hormone monitor type system. There's ones called like Anito and another one that I can't think of. And so I bought that and so it just really tells you when you're ovulating. And I'm kind of over it. Like I'm like my cycle is pretty normal. And for that one, you have to like use these strips that are pretty expensive and you have to track it every single morning. And I'm over that at this point. I'm like,
Mhm.
that's adding to my stress. The acupuncture was adding to my stress. So that's when I like switched as well,
Smart.
which I'll talk about. But I think all of those things I've been doing since January.
Okay.
And another thing to know is some of the prenatals, the really good prenatals, are like 6 to 8 vitamins a day. And I'm not doing that. Like, at least until I'm pregnant, I don't love taking supplements. And so I am doing a really good brand that has all the nutrients I need, but it's a 2 to 3 capsules a day.
What
So
brand
that
is it?
is, I'm using Needed. They have a powder form, which is also really good, and vanilla. And then they have like an optimal prenatal, and I think that's 6 to 8 capsules a day. And then they have a basics prenatal, which is 3 a day. And then I take magnesium and fish oil and all the other things with it. So I'm like, I don't need the optimal. Like I'm
Right.
already dosing
It's
with a
a
bunch of
lot.
other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've been doing that since January. And yeah, we were really, really hopeful. And then we met with the fertility doctor because she's the one that ordered like the sperm analysis. And then she had me come in to do something called a hysterosalpingogram. And it's called an HSG for short. And basically, what that does is they inject dye into my uterus and they put me under a kind of an x-ray machine so that they can make sure that the dye goes all the way into the uterus through the fallopian tubes and out so that you can see if you have any like twisted fallopian tubes or blockages or polyps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
And
crazy.
so I was kind of nervous for that because I'm like, is this going to be all my fault? Like, is something wrong?
Right.
And literally nothing was wrong.
Did that process hurt? Like, I feel like women will be scared for that process if they feel like they need to get that. Was it scary? Was it easy? What was it like?
So there's actually a lot of women who hated it. And I didn't want to look online because I knew that people didn't like it. I just
Mhm.
asked one friend who I love and trust, and she's like, honestly, it is uncomfortable and it feels like cramps.
Okay.
And so that's what I had in my head. I was like, I'm not going to look into this anymore because I'm
Yeah,
just going to
you're
psych myself out. Yeah. And it really did feel like cramps and it hurt. And it's a weird machine and it's like very sterile environment. And then to make matters worse, I brought Paul with me and they wouldn't allow him back. And so then they're walking me out after the procedure's done. And I blacked out basically. I almost passed out and had to sit down and then Paul had to come to me then.
Oh my
So that
God.
was good. I think I just got like really,
You were
nervous.
stressed out.
Yeah. And so I will just tell ladies, it is uncomfortable, but it's not the worst thing in the world and you're going to be fine. It's really quick.
Okay.
And yeah, my nurses were so sweet. So
That's
loved that.
good.
And then, so that's the main procedure that I think is really cool. It'll show you what's going on. And then my doctor had me come in for a transvaginal ultrasound so that with that, they can look at how many eggs you have, I guess, or follicles. I literally hate how they're called eggs. I hate it.
Eggs.
Yeah. And so I had a normal amount of follicles. And so then she was like, okay, I'll meet with you guys in 2 weeks to a month, like everything's looking good. And so then we met with her and she was like, I think you should do IUI. And so that was a month or two ago that happened, or maybe a month ago.
What's IUI?
And
I don't know what that is.
yes, so IUI is intrauterine inception, insemination.
Okay.
And basically, they take the man's sperm and they put it in your uterus. So it's like, okay, we know this is getting point to point B, like there you go. And basically, what she
Nice.
told us is that after a year of trying, your percentage goes down from 25% chances every month to 2% of conceiving naturally without anything
Okay.
else. And she's like, with IUI, it goes up back up to 20%.
Okay.
And she said 1 in 3 couples conceive with IUI after 3 cycles.
That's huge.
And do you think that's huge? Because to me, I was just like, that's nothing.
Why though? I mean, I feel like that's 1 in 3 couples that might not have gotten pregnant at all.
I know. And so I'm looking at this a little bit negatively. And I think I'm looking at it like that too, because it's $1,000 for us each try. And so that just feels like so much money. And then my doctor, she has conceived with IUI 3 times. So that's cool to hear. One time took her 1 try, one time took her 4 tries, and one time took her 5 tries. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so I was like excited, like a little hopeful, but also like really skeptical about IUI. I think too, because I was bummed out. Like, I was like, there's got to be something between now and then. Like, can't she look further into my hormones? Like, doesn't she want to get them retested again and like know the specific dates? And then doesn't she want to like look into my diet, or, isn't there some more supplements she could recommend or anything? And so that was like kind of a bummer to realize like, no, these are not natural doctors. These are not functional health doctors. They are like any doctor where they've been taught this procedure, and if you're here, they recommend this. They don't dig deeper. They don't have the time for that, and they don't, get paid for that, and they didn't have the training for that. And so that was like a month or two ago when she suggested IUI. And I think she suggests to do it 3 or 4 times if you don't conceive, and then you try to go to IVF.
Okay.
And we're traveling these next 2 months, so we wouldn't be able to do anything really. And so my mind was kind of like, okay, what can we do in the meantime? Like, maybe I should look into a naturopath. Maybe I should stop trying to do everything on my own, even though I have all this information and I help women get pregnant all the time. Maybe I should have someone look over all of this,
Yeah.
And so I looked into that and I got so discouraged. It's like so expensive. Like it would be the cost of doing, 2 to 3 IUIs. And I think that was really hard for Paul because he is a traditional doctor and he's like, these people have data, they have actual percentages of how likely you're to get pregnant. But I think it's hard for me to know that I'm not bettering myself in the meantime. I'm not getting any answers. Like IUI is just,
An answer, potentially,
yeah,
but without anything else.
yeah, I'm not sure how to describe like how it makes me like feel, but yeah, so I was just really kind of bummed with how expensive everything is. And so I think we're just kind of left going to do the IUI and just really take care of our bodies in the meantime. And then I stopped doing acupuncture because it was stressing me out. And I found something called a Mayan womb massage, which is what I talked about the last episode or 2 episodes. And so they do a lot of like abdominal massage and uterine massage, and it brings a lot of blood flow, and I loved it. And there's also something called Mercier therapy, where it's kind of like the Mayan abdominal massage, but it was made from a doctor, and she really gets in there and she recommends like 4 treatments or 4 hours worth, and she has a really high percentage rate of people getting pregnant from that. You know, for those who don't want to do IVF or who have failed IVF.
Right.
And so I thought that was really cool too, but that's also a couple thousand, and I would have to like go somewhere where they're really trained in that. And then, so I think at this point, we're just kind of bettering ourselves and like kind of preparing to do IUI in the next couple months if we don't get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
But I did just want to like tell women out there who, if they don't want to end up in my boat, then I would say at the 6-month mark of not getting pregnant, don't freak out. Like, there's still a very good chance that you'll get pregnant naturally. I think 80% of couples get pregnant within a year of trying, but I just don't want people to rely on fertility doctors. They're not really going to help you find the answers of how to treat things naturally, of how to better yourself. Like, they are running a business. They want people to get IUI and IVF. Like, they have data that works. And so that's what they're going to push. And that's what they know. And so I've looked into a lot of things. There's the Mercier therapy if you want to try to better yourself naturally. And then there's also something that I haven't really looked too deep into. It sounds like it's also money because insurance doesn't cover it, but it's called NAPRO technology. And it's from a Catholic standpoint, I guess, is how it came to be. But now there's like all kinds of doctors that perform this. And it's just a way of trying to dig deep and find more answers without doing IVF or IUI. So they will never suggest IVF or IUI. That's just how they practice things. And so I think if I had more time, if we had more money, like I would go with the NAPRO technology and like look into that. But yeah, I think that's my main thing. And if I was like in my early to mid 20s, I wouldn't care if this took 2 years for us to get pregnant. You know, I wouldn't be trying to go to a fertility doctor this early on, but like I'm gonna be 31 and we're just so ready. So, yeah.
No, that's a lot. And I'm really hate that you guys are going through this, especially because Alyssa's always wanted to be a mom. So it breaks my heart that it's, taking you a minute, but I feel like everything happens for a reason, which I know is the most annoying thing to hear, but I truly believe it. And I do think that it's interesting that you come from a naturopathic background and then Paul comes from, a non-naturopathic background, whatever that's called, traditional medicine. And I do think that it's interesting that when you go to these fertility places, they all suggest one thing. It's either the IUI or the IVF. There's no really other ways around it. And I do think something that I've been saying for a long time now is I don't think that there's enough out there on like the woman's body and like the things that we have to go through to prepare for pregnancy and periods and anything else that we have to deal with as women. And I feel like, infertility is one that really needs more studying on both ends, truthfully. And I
Literally.
feel like there is probably that healthy balance of finding, going the natural route and bettering your body from the inside out. But then I feel like if that doesn't work, then there are other solutions that hopefully will work for you. So I'm really proud of you for giving both a shot. And I think since you guys are traveling over the next few months and you can't start the IUI right away, you should really focus on just taking time for yourself and being kind to yourself and being kind to your body. And then if that doesn't work, then you go the next step. And there's Absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Thank you. That is the plan. And it is so weird, but I've had multiple people in my life tell me like that they've like had dreams of me being pregnant. I'll just cut this out.
No, you don't have to cut it out.
Just a minute. Anyways, I feel like we are still hopeful. Like, I didn't think it would come to this point, but now that it has, like, we are actually still very hopeful. And, like, we know there will be a baby in our life, but it's hard to take this time, and just to be patient and, like, faithful and hopeful. And yeah, I think the other thing that's been kind of crazy is, like, we told everybody when we started trying. I don't know why.
I
I
think
think
because
we were
we thought
just,
it was going to happen so fast.
yes, we were so excited. And a lot of people around us were also starting to try for their second or whatever. And so it just naturally came up. And so it also feels like it's a topic on every one of our friends' minds, on every single person we know. Like, everyone's asking us, like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And so I would definitely recommend not telling people immediately, just
Right.
because, like, I thought it would be really exciting and happy to share, but you never know if it's going to take you a little while. And it's just like that little added bonus of pressure or sadness if, they ask you on a day that you got your period or something, like,
Right.
yeah. I also forgot to mention that I went gluten-free like a couple months ago. So I'm still trying to be gluten-free as much as possible just for inflammation. I don't think that it's helped me with anything else like GI or anything. Like, I thought I would feel like $1,000,000.
Yeah.
But at this point now, I'm like, ugh, I just don't want to keep adding anything that could add more inflammation.
No, that makes sense. I feel like you've literally done everything that you can physically. I feel like it's to the point where I'm just worried that you're overexhausting your mental health, which always stresses me out because I just feel like it is so much. And I hate watching you go through this. It breaks my heart. So I think that it's only going to be positive from here. I feel like 1 year mark, 1 year down, you learned a lot, and you learned a lot for me and for a lot of other women. And it's very inspiring. I feel like you and Paul have been doing such a great job. It's commendable to watch you guys go through this together. And it's only going to make you guys stronger as a couple and stronger as parents when you become them.
I know we're going to be obsessed with our child. And at first, Paul was
Yeah.
like, I only want boys. And now he's like, I don't care what we have.
Now he's like, I'll take whatever, even if it's a Gemini.
Literally. I don't know about that.
Yeah, watch out. I feel like a Gemini is in your future.
Yeah. But I just wanted to like give everybody an update, all like 12 of our listeners.
No, we have more than 12 listeners and we love each and every one of you.
I know we are very happy with the turnout that we've had with this podcast, but I feel like I did the preconception episode and then we kind of haven't talked about it since, or like
Yeah.
I've dabbled in it here and there, and I might still share things as they happen. I'm not sure yet how I want to go about everything, but I just wanted to give everybody a little update and also know that I'm like a source for anyone who wants to ask any questions. And there's so much that can be done. There's so much that even I haven't done or I wish I did. And now I just feel like we're impatient, but I'm trying my best. And yeah, so here we are. And if anyone has any other advice, please let me know. Or if you've worked
Yeah.
with a NAPRO physician, I want to hear all about that because I've never met anyone who has. So,
Yeah. No, I feel like we should really have our listeners tune in if you've ever been through this, any tips that have worked for you, anything that you do or don't suggest. or if you have any recommendations, send them our way. We'll post some stories that you guys can comment on. Or if you're dealing with the same thing, just know Alyssa's someone that you can lean on and you guys can be a source for each other. I mean, I'm always a source too, but I'm not like Alyssa.
She's just a sweet listening ear.
Yeah, I'll do a little lend an ear for you.
Yes, but I don't know. In our future episodes, I think we'll stick with some fun topics. So thanks for listening, anyways.
No, I think that this is great and it's a welcomed, a welcomed, a
Discussion.
warm welcomed. It's going to be welcomed with open arms. Okay.
Okay, that works.
I think that this is a nice switch up, and I think that it's actually something that a lot of people need to hear or want to hear or listen to. And hopefully this will help anyone who's going through it as well. And if you are, we love you and we send you all the best. And we're just rooting for you guys.
Yes. So before we leave off, have you watched Hunting Wives or heard?
No, but I will say our parents are watching it, and my
They are?
mom. Yeah, so my mom asked me today, she was like, "Are you watching Hunting Wives? Someone's watching it on the account. They're on episode 4." And I was like, "No, not me." And she was like, "I watched it last night with your dad and he said it was very sexual." And then I'm not kidding. 5 minutes later, my dad walks in and he goes, "Mom and I watched a very sexual show last night."
Oh my God. They must be logged in somewhere random because I just watched episode 1 last night. Yeah,
Weird.
and I was kind of like, I don't think it's good enough to watch. Like, I love a little sexual tension here and there, but it also has to be a good premise. And I'm like, this is just about hooking up with everybody around you, I feel like. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll watch it, but everyone's talking about it.
Are you watching They Were Liars?
No, but I thought about it.
It's actually good. I couldn't get into it for the first or second episode. I was like, I'm bored. But that's all I downloaded on my flight home. So that's what I watched. Well, actually, no. I downloaded the newest Fast and Furious, I thought. And then I
You're
went
obsessed with Fast and
I
Furious.
know. I love Fast and Furious. And I went to watch it. And I was like, why is Paul Walker in this? Is this like a whatever, like a what is
Throwback.
it, CGI? Like a no. Like I was like, did they like put him in here like when Kanye West did that to Kim's dad? No, I
A
downloaded
hologram?
the hologram. I accidentally downloaded the very first movie. And I was like, so
You didn't want to watch it?
no, I wanted to watch something new and spunky. So I'm almost finished with the season and I'm getting more and more into it. I think it's like it's kind of like The Summer I Turned Pretty, but if you make it like
Yeah.
really spooky and like kind of sad.
Spooky.
But like I just feel like it's the same viewer. Like
Okay,
you know what I
that's
mean?
what I
It's like a
thought,
little
but I didn't know it was gonna
childish
be.
and like kind of
Yeah.
annoying. And the acting it's fine. But I think that it's a good, easy watch. But it's kind of spooky.
Damn. Well, I'm excited to watch Wednesday. The second season is out,
Too.
but I'm waiting till October.
One thing I don't understand is why they release it so early. Why are you not
Not a
releasing it
clue.
in October? It doesn't make any sense.
I
Have
truly
you been
don't
watching The
know.
Summer I Turned Pretty?
No, I don't have time. I will now, but we've
It's
been out of
not
town.
even worth it right now. This season is exhausting. It's exhausting.
Really?
And all of you little bitches out there keep spoiling it. And it's so rude. I'm like, I'm one day behind. Why are you posting what's going on? Do you know how rude that is?
I think we should be able to block spoilers. Like,
Yeah, like
if we can block words.
if you're a spoiler girl, which like you shouldn't be, you need to at least put like a warning, like The Summer I Turned Pretty spoiler. Don't watch if you haven't seen this up. But like that's literally all I ask. So that way I can go. No, instead it's like, guess what happened? And I'm like, ooh, what? And then it's like, and it's just so rude. So don't do that shit. Cut it out. Cut it
Well,
out.
Paul and I just finished a book called These Silent Woods, and it was
That
really
doesn't sound
good.
like a summer read.
I know. Well, Paul loves a little thriller when we're on a road trip.
Mm.
So it wasn't very thrillery. It was kind of a surprise how it was. I really liked it though.
Oh, okay. I'll add it to my list.
Yes. And it was a good audiobook too, if you want an audiobook.
I always
I
want
liked the narrator. He was
Okay,
great.
that's rare.
But yeah, so thank you guys for listening. That is our update right now. Amanda, anything else?
That's all I had. I was just here to lend an ear.
Yeah, she tried to make me do a solo episode for that where she wasn't going to be here. And I was like, you just want me to be by myself crying, talking to
I
the
thought it
wind?
might be enlightening, you know?
I don't know what you thought, but there won't be any solo episodes in this bitch.
I can't wait for my solo episode.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to bring on Lollipop and Martini.
Perfect.
No,
Those
I
are
was
her
actually
dogs.
just watching The Girls Next Door because, I've been watching that. And Bridget had a radio show or a talk show. And it was, she's like, I always have my co-star. It's her dog. She just brings him in and she like talks to him. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so you. And like,
I
what do
love
you have
it.
to think about? What do you have to say about that, Lolly? Like, yep, that's what I thought. Anyways, that's all for this episode. We hope you loved it and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.